Hi and welcome to another video on writing. This one is called Colourful Semantics. So the children in school will be familiar with this, where they might be doing some work on a different coloured card or with different font colours to indicate different types, different parts of sentences. So we're going to be creating sentences using this and doing some silly sentences later on, but we'll just help understand the different colours and the different parts of the sentence. So in this dark blue colour, we've got the noun or noun phrase, which is the who or what of a sentence. So if you remember, your nouns are people, places, things, objects, ideas. Then in red, we've got our verb phrase, which is the doing word or the action, what the noun is doing. In the lighter shade of blue is an adjective, which is a describing word, and we've put that in the lighter shade of blue because it goes as part of the noun phrase. And when we look at a sentence in a moment, you'll see how that works. So the light shade of blue is for an adjective, and then in green is something called an adverbial phrase, which tells the reader how something happened, when it happened, or where it happened. So let's have a look at an example of a sentence and each of these parts of our colourful semantics. So here's our sentence. Mrs. Harvey kicked the fat rat under the table. Okay, and this is a sentence that we shared with all the children when they were in school. So our noun phrase here is Mrs. Harvey, who? A verb phrase, the action, she kicked the rat. Okay, so kicked, that's what she does, she kicked it. The fat rat. Now the word fat is an adjective, it's describing the rat. We could take it out of the sentence and it still makes sense. And then under the table here in green is an adverbial phrase, because that's telling us where it took place. So Mrs. Harvey kicked the fat rat under the table, and you can see the different colours there to indicate the different parts of the sentence. So let's have a look at a sentence with no colours in, and I'm going to see if you can find the right part. So the giant lion growled loudly. So what's the noun phrase in that sentence? What's that sentence about? What's the thing in that sentence? Yep, that's right, the lion. Okay, what word describes the lion? What adjective describes the lion? Tells us about the lion. Yep, that's right, giant. Okay, so that's our adjective. What did the lion do? What action or doing word did the lion do? Yep, that's right, it growled. And how did it do that? How, our adverb or adverbial phrase is loudly. So if we then show in colour, the giant lion growled loudly. So in red, we've got our verb, it growled. In dark blue, we've got our noun phrase, the lion. And then in light blue, we've got our adjective, giant. So creating the noun phrase, the giant lion growled, and then loudly tells us how the lion growled. So now we have a table here with lots of different noun phrases, lots of verb phrases, lots of adjectives, and lots of adverbial phrases, and we can create some silly sentences with these, some funny sentences using different parts here to create them. So we've got noun phrases, the banana, the elephant, the rhino, the spider, the moon. We've got some verb phrases, strolled, pounced, stomped, ran, jumped. Some adjectives, wrinkly, old, bright, silver, angry, grumpy, happy, peaceful. And then adverbial phrases tell us, remember, how, when, and where. So early in the morning, that's an adverbial phrase that tells us when. After lunch, that's another adverbial phrase that tells us when. Through a field tells us where. Over the gate tells us where. And towards the man tells us where, but possibly even how as well. So I'm going to come up with a crazy sentence. The grumpy elephant stomped through the field. So you can see there, the grumpy elephant stomped through the field. You could take here, the happy, peaceful spider jumped over the gate. Okay, so there's lots of different ways. Here's one silly sentence I've created. I've picked out the banana. I've picked out the adjectives wrinkly old. I've picked out the verb stomped, and I've picked out the adverbial phrase towards the man and made the sentence, the wrinkly old banana stomped towards the man. Okay, and you can see the different coloured parts there. So I'm going to put this page back up, and why don't you, if you hit pause, then you can have a go at creating your own sentences, silly or sensible, using the different parts there. See if you can come up with some fantastic sentences. I wonder if you can make 5 really good sentences with those. Don't forget your capital letters at the beginning of sentences and your full stops at the end. Good luck and see you soon.